Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 382 of the show with no name. I'm your humble host, Nick, and in today's episode, we're going to be back out at the Salem Cemetery, and I want to talk about the Schutz family. And I'm going to start out with Sophia Schutz. And she was born on August 14th, 1860 in Ukraine. And she would pass away on July 26th, 1953 at the age of 92 in Ritzville, Washington. Mrs. Schutz was survived by an astonishing number of 52 grandchildren, 89 great-grandchildren, and 16 great-great-grandchildren. She was a hard-working farmer's wife, and she devoted her entire adult existence to her husband and her family. Even as she passed 90, she remained an active woman on the family ranch 14 miles southwest of Ritzville. Mrs. Schutz maintained her own flower garden, watering and cultivating it, and she spent much of her life sewing and crocheting. But her greatest delight was to be with members of her own family, particularly the smaller children. She had spent an active Saturday and was planning to come to Ritzville to shop for groceries Saturday evening, until she decided that she was not feeling as good as she might have thought. Sometime Saturday night, the 92-year-old lady suffered a stroke. She was taken to the hospital in Ritzville Sunday morning, but lived only 15 minutes more, passing away at about 10:45 a.m. She was born in Ukraine in 1860, a year before the Civil War broke out in the United States. In Ukraine, she was married to Gottlieb Schutz. They came to America in 1898, where their family would settle on a ranch where Miss Schutz was to live for the rest of her life. Her mother, Caroline, is also buried out here at the cemetery, so I'm assuming that Caroline was on the trip with her when she came to America. I don't know anything about her father, though, and Caroline was born in 1828, and she would pass away in 1906, so she lived a long, full life. Her husband, Gottlieb Schutz, was born on November 8th, 1855 in Russia, and he would pass away on April 6, 1936 in Washington. And he was a pretty interesting guy. He was one of the real pioneers of Adams County, and he was a man who helped make local history. Even though he was in his 80s, he remained in full possession of all his faculties until the last, and he took an active part in the direction of his property. He came to this country as a very young man. In 1877, when 22 years of age, he would marry Sophie, and they were blessed with 12 children, although only 8 of them lived. He was always ready to do his part toward the development of the county, or making it a better place in which to live and raise a family. However, he lived on his original ranch from the day he was married until his death. Their son, George, is also buried here in the cemetery with them, and I found an article about his death in the Journal Times on Thursday, January 19th, 1922 that reads, "Farmer shot near Paha. George Schutz, a farmer living near Paha, was fatally wounded yesterday afternoon by the accidental discharge of a shotgun during a rabbit drive held in Paha country. He died at about 6 o'clock through profuse bleeding. The drive was over and the men were standing around, according to the report received here, Schutz happened to swing his gun around, and it struck the gun of a boy named Kelly, who was standing a little to the rear of Schutz. Kelly's gun was discharged, and the load struck Schutz in the calf of the leg. Fired at such close range, the shot tore through the flesh badly. Although he was given attention promptly, he died before the train arrived to take him to Spokane on Highway 2, and he leaves behind a wife and 5 children. He was only 43 years old at the time of his death. Sophia and Gottlieb's kids and grandkids and great-grandkids are scattered all across the Pacific Northwest, so none of their other children are buried here in the cemetery with them. There was a Schutz baby that lived to be only a day old that was buried in the cemetery in the year 1918. But I don't think that's Sophia's. I think it's one of her kids' children, but I'm not sure. I couldn't find any information about it other than that. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.